Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Stoverload Rock Show. And I know, normally the showcase is dedicated for the shows, and Wes normally handles that, and I've been filling in a little bit. But today I want to do something special because not only it's a Memorial Day, and I want to bring you guys a little something extra, but I'm also really stoked because I'm a big fan of this band that I got. Now, this band has shared the stage with a lot of other bands like I don't know, Corn, Marilyn Manson, Shinedown, a lot of others, and they're a badass band on the rise, and they just got signed too. And I kind of knew this was going to happen because they're that damn good. It was just a matter of time. So I want you to welcome our guest, the lead singer from Eternal Frequency, Emelle.
Hello, how are we doing today, Stoverload?
I never got asked that before. I'm good.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm glad we could finally get this done.
As I said earlier, it's hard for me not to act like a fanboy because I came across you guys 4.5 years ago when I was doing the Stoverload Music Podcast, and ever
Oh
since
my
then,
God.
every radio station I went on, Eternal Frequency got plugged. I could not do a show and not have you guys on it.
Oh my God. Well, you're a big reason why, we are where we are now. So I thank you for that. And I can't believe you've been here for like essentially since the beginning. So that's wild. It's amazing how fast time goes.
Oh, ain't that the truth? I'm curious because I was watching the quality of your music videos, and the very first one I saw was AI, and that's by far my favorite song above all of them. Who?
Really?
That's one of my favorites. That's like that, the production and all that. It's like really, really well done.
Wow. Well, thank you. I don't hear that one very often of that being someone's favorite. So I really appreciate that.
I think it's that moment in the song where you just belt it out and let out that hell yeah part. Like you just like you, I know a lot of you might hear this a lot, but it seems like right now the standard for like screaming and vocal melodies and all that, everybody says, "Well, Lizzie Hale's the queen right now," and it's like when I heard you do it, I'm like, "Ooh, she might give Lizzie Hale a run for her money."
Oh, well, thank you for that. I think our voices are different in many, respects and there's certain things that she can do that I definitely cannot do and I think and vice versa, but I definitely respect the hell out of her and she's amazing and hopefully one day I get to, either meet her or perform with her in some regard, record a song with her, whatever, but she's definitely someone that I've looked up to and I get a lot of inspiration from. But yeah, to even be mentioned in the same vein as her it's a big honor.
It's not a comparison. It's just I think that's what fans come across. It's like, man, she sounds a lot like her, or that style sounds a lot like her. I really like her.
Yeah, it's either that or sometimes I get Evanescence, which I don't hear too much, but I guess it depends on the listener what they're going for. But I also do believe that when you're a female singer in a rock band, your female fronted rock band, I feel like you kind of get pigeonholed to a degree by some people where they just compare you to just anybody because that's all
Right.
they can think of. They haven't done enough research to find, other, female fronted bands. They just, they pick like Hailstorm or Evanescence or what's that other one? Misery Business, Paramore. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
I get all those comparisons and like Hailstorm I can hear a little bit, but as far as like Evanescence and Paramore, it's like I don't hear it, but I think you're just saying a female band just to say a female band at this point.
Right. Yeah, some of them probably do, but nonetheless, they obviously like you and they're attracted to your work.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that for sure.
So it's amazing you said a little while ago that was 4.5 years ago. That was the very beginning of the Eternal Frequency.
So like when did it start?
Yeah, officially.
Okay, sorry. Part of you like cut off, so I couldn't hear the entire question. So sorry. I'm trying to think. So 2018 is when I started the band. So that was like what, 5, 6 years ago, maybe?
About seven.
7 now?
Yeah,
Really?
we're 2025. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. Um, no, so 4.5. Yeah, I would say roughly around that time, 4.5 years ago is when we really hit the ground running though. Because like we in 2018, we worked on our first EP and that didn't come out until like the tail end of 2018, beginning of 2019. So yeah, I'd say we didn't really find our footing until like around 4.5, 5-ish years ago.
Interesting. It seems like you guys, I mean, how good the music is and how well it's done and just how well you guys gel and perform together as a band. It seems like, you guys have been doing it a lot longer than that.
Well, thank you. I think it helps when, you know, like Justin, my fiance, he's my lead guitar player and he's also my co-songwriter. And he and I, we write all the music together. And I think well, he wasn't originally in the band. So that's what I meant by when we finally found our footing, it had a big deal to do with him because he really helped shape our sound and he really complemented my lyrics and my melodies with, his instrumentals like AI. You mentioned AI was your favorite. That was all him. You know what I mean? So I really think that we got our identity when he joined the band.
Yeah, and shout out to Justin too, man, because that guy's he is a beast on that guitar.
Yes, he is. Absolutely. And I cannot wait. We're currently writing and recording right now, and I cannot freaking wait for you to hear this new stuff. It's the best. Every band says, "Oh, the best is yet to come. It's the best stuff we've ever done." But like, I truly, truly mean that.
It's amazing because I can go down the list of all the songs that you guys have done, and I have not heard a bad song out of you guys at all. Because every song has been unique, it's been original, and it's been different. It has not been stereotyped or nothing, or it hasn't been. Well, this song sounds like that song, or this song sounds like this one. Everyone's been unique. There's no comparison to any others.
Well, thank you so much for saying so. We we really try to stress because the maneuver that we're doing right now is the whole, you drop a single and you drop a video and then you promote the crap out of that and you ride the wave and then you drop another song, another single, another video. Everything's very calculated and with each song when you're just dropping single per single and you're not dropping a whole album, every song has to be a hit. It
Right.
has to be like from the get-go, like boom, just something in your face. Whereas with an album, unfortunately you have those songs where, people call them filler songs, quote unquote. And like when you're putting all your eggs in one basket between each song, it's kind of the way that you have to go. You have to make it unique and different and just make it the best that it can be. And of course, like when you're writing future songs and you're working on the future, like the stuff that we're doing now, like it's always going to just evolve and get better and better and better. But I'm really honored that you think that we don't have a bad song because they're even then. So like there's certain songs, I'm not going to name which ones, but there's certain songs that I listen back to like early on. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that now. I would have done something differently, but that's also the perfectionist in me, of course.
Well, but that says a lot though, because I think a lot of artists, they want to keep riding the wave. So I think some of the artists they get that wrong idea that we got to keep it out, like right, another one, another one, another one, and sometimes that wait is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You don't want to flood your fans. You don't want to flood the public because they'll get tired of you. It's a thing, especially with social media, there can be too much. And I think just focusing on one release at a time and just making it just pristine and, making an amazing video, good budget, saving up for that. I think the fans are more receptive to that. And I think that we're basically I think that we're doing that well and I'm going to continue to do it that way for as long as I can. And then also another thing is why we haven't done an album is because it's very expensive too.
Yeah,
So when you're a small band and people's attention spans are not what they used to be, again with social media and things constantly being thrown in your face, scrolling, people, their attention spans are shorter. So you have to grip them, you have to hold them as long as you can. But when you do a full album, it's hard to do because people are going to skip through and they're just going to find the singles. You know what I mean?
right.
So just to do one song at a time, I believe it's more beneficial that way when you are a smaller band when you're not a major band because it's different when you're like a bit I'm rambling right now but
It's okay.
it's different it's different when you're a band like someone's like Limp Bizkit or Korn they have the means to be backed up to make that album and to promote it properly. They have that budget and they know the fans. They have those diehard fans that are going to listen to it from front to back, you know?
Right. Yeah, well, you know, I think me speaking as a fan personally, I'm that kind of fan that, you know, when I hear a couple songs, even a couple singles that I like, I want the whole album. I don't
Yeah.
want a couple singles here, a couple singles there, or take it back to the old school to where you had to listen to the radio or borrow your friend's double cassette player deck radio and have to sit there and, you know, record and make your own album because there is no album.
It's true. It's hard. Like if we lived in a day and age where it was just, you know, CDs, like that, this is how I would prefer it to be. I want it to be back in CDs, no streaming, because one, the artist gets more revenue when people buy the CDs.
Absolutely.
Streaming doesn't pay shit, unfortunately. We have to have it, but it doesn't pay anything.
Right.
And with Spotify, people can just, you know, they're gonna skippy do all day. But when they go out and buy that album, they're buying that physical thing that tangible thing that they can hold in their hand. They're going to listen. They're dedicated. They're going to listen to the whole thing, you know?
Exactly. Even not just the album, but also like a hoodie, a T-shirt, you know,
Absolutely.
a wristband, just
Absolutely.
anything. You know what I mean? It's social media and streaming. I mean, yeah, it's a useful tool and it helps, but it also hinders. It's a double-edged sword, as a lot of musicians like to say.
Absolutely.
So, what's been one of the songs that you guys were surprised by with the amount of feedback that you got?
Um, Let me see.
Something surprising.
Something surprising. I would probably say, that's a tough question.
Okay, what's the song that's most commonly mentioned to you guys by most of your fans?
Oh, definitely Parasite. Parasite and What Are We Waiting For are two big ones that and I think they're two of our biggest stream songs right now as well, but those are two that people always bring up. But shockingly enough, people bring up Head Like a Hole's another one too. That was the biggest cover we ever did. But shockingly enough, one that gets brought up a lot that we actually we played it live a couple of times, but not so much now, is the cover that we did, the Queen cover, The Show Must Go On.
Amazing work too, by the way.
Thank you. That one gets brought up a lot by so many people want to hear that song live. And that's something that we did during the pandemic for for NEVA. And it was to raise money for venues that were closing. You know how all those shutdowns happen
Yeah.
with the smaller venues and everything. It was to support NEVA and to help keep those doors open. So that was the point of that. Like obviously, like the show must go on. We filmed the music video and a theater, you know, an empty theater. It was all very dramatic. But yeah, that one gets brought up a lot. And I mean, I love performing the song. When you're doing like these festivals and stuff and you only have a certain amount of time, you don't want to make your set all covers. So I guess that's kind of why we haven't been able to play it as much.
Understandable. I mean, you guys are not a cover band. It's cool to do a
Yeah.
song that you like, but your whole set's not dedicated to that.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, I feel bad when I have to tell people, oh, sorry, we're not playing that one, but there's, you know, legitimate reasons behind it. It's not that we don't want to.
Give it time. You're going to establish such a well relationship with your fans. It's going to turn to a situation like Corey Taylor has when they want to hear SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, but that one's so much more epic though. Like, come on.
That'd be something else. You spot them at a show. Hey, come out here real quick. I need your help with a song.
I'd love to get to a point where that would be a thing. Oh my God.
It must have been pretty amazing when you started getting recognition from bands like Shinedown and Korn and Marilyn Manson. I mean, when those things were happening, that pretty much had to tell you guys, all right, we're doing something right. We're on the right track.
Well, so this year when we played the first time we played with like Shinedown, 3 Days Grace, all those bands, that was the first time we ever played Rocklahoma back in 2022. And then this year for Rocklahoma 2025, we didn't even submit or anything. They just asked us to come back because, you know, we had established such a positive rapport the last time we were there, and that that community of Rocklahoma people, they're the nicest, most family-oriented people I've ever met. They're literally a second family to me, and they just took us in with open arms. And when, when they offered us to come back, I was like, how could we not? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that, Alice Cooper's playing,
Wow.
Marilyn Manson. Alice Cooper's a big one for me because when I was growing up, there were two artists, two bands, I should say, that inspired me. And it was Alice Cooper and Kiss. I was obsessed. And yeah, like 4 years old, I was just obsessed with these, these guys wearing the makeup and just the shock rock aspect. And my family was just like, what is wrong with her?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's a big one for me. Like I hope I can see him like backstage or meet him in like the media tent or something, just so I can kind of thank him for inspiring me all these years.
Absolutely. And yeah, Alice Cooper and Kiss, those are some big favorites of mine too. And one of
Hell
my
yeah.
favorite songs by Alice Cooper was one that didn't really get played on the radio, and it was off Poison, I think it was, or Hey Stupid. It was Little by
Okay.
Little.
Little by little.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite songs by him, and it wasn't one of the ones at the main airwaves. And I'm thinking about him like, if Eternal Frequency ever pays homage to him or tribute, I think that should be the song because this man, it pounds.
Ooh, yeah, that or so Trash is my favorite Alice Cooper album, and I'm a big fan of the song Bed of Nails.
Yeah,
I love that song.
this
Man, I,
maniac's in
I
love with you.
oh man, it's so good. And also, what was that other one? I like that one ballady song. I Might As Well Be on Mars.
Yeah,
That song is such a vibe.
yeah. Dangerous Tonight was another good one.
Hmm.
Yeah, that whole album. I mean, Desmond Wolfe. I wish Desmond Wolfe, if he was still around or still doing any work, I wish he, sink his claws to Eternal Frequency. And oh boy, watch out.
Oh my gosh. I can't even explain what that would mean, but this is why we're friends, Mike. This is why we get along so well. We got the same taste in music.
Well, music tends to bring people together, and it's all the listeners out there, it's all the fans. Everything we're talking about right now, the type of things we're talking about, these are the things you experience at a live show. This isn't the kind of thing you get just by streaming it or watching it on YouTube. Go to the shows, put your phone away unless you're recording your favorite song or getting a picture with someone, and enjoy the show. These are the experiences you get from a rock show.
Absolutely. What like someone posted something on Facebook today and they asked the opinion of, because a lot of these bands like Ghost and Tool, they're kind of like making these no cell phone policies. And I'm kind of for it, like I I want it to be like back in the day where, people survived for God knows how many years without cell phones.
Right?
They were able to go to a show and just take it all in and just enjoy the show. They weren't on their phone, they weren't scrolling through Facebook in between songs, they weren't looking up set lists, they weren't doing any of that. And I just feel like life was better then.
Yeah,
Of
everything was
course.
a first-hand experience back then. I was born in
Yeah.
1980, and I went to Chicago Metro a lot in like my early 20s. And
Yeah,
I
well, there
had
you
no
go.
cell phone. I had a landline at home, and I was out with my friends and
Yeah.
had a damn good time.
Yeah, like, and I can see where people say, "Oh, I need it for emergencies and stuff." I'm like, "That's fine. Like, take it with you. Just don't pull it out." You know what I
Right.
mean?
If you're
Like, you
that
don't.
hard, yeah, if you're that hard up for a picture, go old school and get a Kodak camera that you have to take to Walgreens
Yeah.
and get it developed. I guarantee you
Yeah.
won't be on that thing all night.
Exactly. See, and that's where I'm kind of at. Like, I'm not saying that I would ever, maybe if we got to like Limp Bizkit level, I don't know. But would I ever enforce a rule like that? At a smaller stage where we are right now, I'm not anywhere to enforce a rule like that. But who knows in the future? Like I said, who knows? But
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy the way things are, but this generation does not know how much fun it is to go to a rock show. Okay, maybe some of them do, but a lot of them just don't get it. So I think
no.
I'd be for that, a limited cell phone use. Unless there's an emergency, do what you got to do.
Yeah, like with this younger generation, even your generation, they're some of them are just as bad with the cell phones. It's all about the Instagram posts. It's all about, hashtag this on Facebook. It's all about making this TikTok. Like, just enjoy, like
Yeah,
you have one life, live it. Like, don't live through a screen.
for real. For real. You are not lying about that.
Mm-hmm. Truth, buddy, truth.
Word. Well, I always like to take a moment in the show because I always like to leave the door open for a couple minutes. And if there's anything you want to share with your fan base or anything you want to give a shout out to or anything, the floor is yours.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, the beautiful Mike Stover, the Stover Lord, as I like to call you.
Yes.
The,
Yeah.
the Stover Lord of the Stoverload.
Sweet.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for, having me on your show, and I apologize again for how long it took. And my fans know that we love them and we're grateful for them, and we wouldn't be where we are without them. Um, Shout out to our booking agent, Blind Anxiety Entertainment, always amazing. But yeah, just keep an eye out on the shows we have coming up. We have Brewstock. We just announced Brewstock Music Festival in Gastonia, North Carolina at the end of September. We have Rocklahoma, which is the end of August, beginning of September. And we also have something that's really near and dear to my heart is the show that I put on every year for a different charity, and it's called Horns for Hearts. That'll be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, October 11th. And that's to raise money for the National Foundation for Missing Exploited Children. So that'll be a really amazing show to come out to.
I encourage everybody to go to that because that's getting worse by the day. I mean, it's always been a problem, but it's getting a lot worse.
Absolutely. And like, I mean, you see, like, if you go to Walmart and you see the bulletin boards of there's so many children missing.
Yeah.
And it's such an epidemic, and it hasn't gotten any better, even with social media. You would think that it's easier to find people with social media, but these kids are just getting taken left and right, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And you just don't know. I mean, sometimes they're taken, sometimes they're running away. I mean, you really
Yeah.
don't know. And it's,
Yeah.
you pray for a positive outcome, and that's, man, I props and respect off to you guys for doing that because that's a big topic.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope it has a good turnout. We usually have a good turnout. It's on a Saturday this year, which helps. The past couple of years I had it on a Sunday, so it wasn't as big as a turnout as I wanted it to be. It was still good, but I know it could have been better.
Well, if you're ever up in the
But
Green
it's
Bay,
on a Saturday
Wisconsin
this
area, I'll be
year,
looking for you.
and the that are playing are amazing.
Well, I hope you guys can do a tour of the
there's a
states.
couple. I would love to. I would love to. We're actually working on some tour dates coming up here in like the fall winter time, but and we're talking about working on something for Wisconsin, so I'm sure we'll see you there.
You're damn right. If you're in Green Bay, I'll be front row. I'll be begging. Give me backstage. Give me backstage. I'll run the camera. I don't care.
Well, do you know that the Northwoods rock rally?
As if it's further north, probably not.
Okay, there's one in Wisconsin. I forget exactly where in Wisconsin. We were asked to do it, but unfortunately, my drummer does front of house for another band, so he's gonna be on tour with that band. So unfortunately, we can't play it. But otherwise, we would have been in Wisconsin sooner. But you're gonna have to wait till like the fall, winter time, probably.
Hey, good things come to those who wait. I am curious to see what you guys are going to do. If you're ever going to do anything acoustically.
I mean, I love doing acoustic. We've done acoustic a couple times during our live shows in the past. I'm always down to do acoustic. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say no to that. I love acoustic.
That'd be awesome.
Is there a particular song that you'd want to hear acoustic
Uh,
besides AI, which I don't know how that would work acoustic,
I would like
but
to see. I'd like to see what kind of twist you could put on it with. What are we waiting for?
okay. Yeah, that one's definitely doable. That's definitely doable.
Yeah, that would be interesting because sometimes, like some of the heaviest ones, like take Korn's album, the Unplugged one they did. They took all their major hits and put an acoustic twist on it. It gave it a whole new feel and a whole new
Whole new
purpose.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to see what would happen with that song.
I'm the kind of person I'm down for anything, and I won't say no. So maybe when we eventually play Wisconsin, we'll do it just for you.
Here's hoping.
AI though, could you imagine AI being acoustic? I'm just trying to wrap my head around because that's one we haven't tried to even like attempt. So like we've played it full band live before plenty of times, but we've never tried to do it acoustic, and I'm trying to think how that would even be feasible at this point.
I
But
think if you
like
had
you
like a
said, if
choir,
Corey can do it, yeah.
if you had like a choir or like an orchestra, like a school orchestra.
Oh man, that would be that's my dream. You don't even know. That's my dream to have like a full-blown orchestra, a full-blown choir just on stage. How like Metallica did for their acoustic album.
Yeah, that's an M.
Oh, I would die.
That would be cool. Like I said, I think that'd be very interesting. As time goes on, and that's a goal of yours. I think that'd be really cool. And I think more bands should do that more often. Get involved with local schools that have orchestras and all that, because sometimes, man, you'll come out with a whole nother world incorporating that
Mhm.
to it.
Like I want to snatch my students that I work with at the school that I work at. So, um, that'd be really cool if we could get their choir involved with something.
Speaking of which, I kind of wonder, because you're a music teacher on the side, how many of your students know of you being in a band and have heard your work in the band, and how many of them are actually fans?
So I'm actually not a music teacher, surprisingly enough.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I work with like special needs kids and stuff like that.
Oh,
And I'm technically I don't none of them really know. No, actually none of them know because I'm not allowed to say that I'm in a
okay.
band. So yeah, technically I'm not allowed to tell anybody. But it's fine. It's like I'm basically Hannah Montana. I'm teacher by day, rock star by night.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, babe. Don't put it past them. If they got a cell phone, there might come a day. Hey, you're in a band, and someone's gonna figure it out.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna deny or, say yes to anything, but technically I'm not allowed to tell them that. But I
Right,
wish I could because like these kids, they're wearing like corn t-shirts and they're wearing like ghost t-shirts. And it's like, oh my God, I wish I could tell you.
right. You never know. Once you guys are pretty big now, and you're on your way. There might come a day where one of those guys might say, "Hey, where's this place you work at?" They might just show up just to spend some time with the kids,
Oh my God.
and you still got to sit there and play it down like you knew nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
Well, Em, I want to thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out to do an exclusive with us. It's truly an honor, and it's been so hard. I wanted to go full blown Wayne's World on you. I'm not worthy. I'm not
You're
worthy.
not worthy. We suck.
Yeah, you're worthy. You're worthy. Get up.
Oh my God.
But this has been a true honor, and we wish nothing but the best for all you guys. You guys are doing amazing work. It's a great escape from reality, and it's a positive, constructive outlet with what you guys are bringing for everybody music wise. So thank
Hey,
you for what you're doing.
hey, right back at you. It's an honor for me as well, and I can't thank you enough for what you do and giving these, small time bands an outlet as well. And you help make our voice heard, and you introduce us to a whole new fan base. So we couldn't do without you.
I do what I can. That's why I started these shows, because I wanted to help bands. The mainstream don't need me. So hey, whatever. I like
Well,
the
we
local
couldn't do
scene
without
anyway.
you. So just know how valuable you are. Okay, you are
You heard
so
it right there,
valuable.
fans. M said it right there. You got to tune in and listen more. I got the seal of approval for Eternal Frequency right there.
I love you, Mike.
Much appreciated. Well, until then, fans, Eternal Frequency is not a hard band to find. You can find them on almost any social media platform. Look them up, get in contact, go to their show. Most importantly, go to their show. Until then, you know what I always say, all good things must come to an end. Unfortunately, it's that time. So,
But
M,
it's not goodbye, it's see you later.
yeah, yeah. Or there was a POD, goodbye for now. Well, that's all the time we got, fans. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been my special, awesome guest, M from Eternal Frequency. We will talk to you
Peace.
guys again soon.